plaintiff, Caitlin Egan, dated the defendant, and she claims their relationship was good until she found naked photos of his co-worker and discovered he paid another woman $12 for a sex video. Caitlin's suing him today for breach of contract and emotional distress. Defendant Cameron Campbell admits that he betrayed Caitlin, but insists he never cheated on her, and the pictures and video he had were nothing more than porn. Cameron claims Caitlin is suing him prematurely.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
All right. We dated for 2 years.
Beginning when?
In 2016.
Was that insignificant? You think maybe could be 16? Okay.
Yes.
How'd it go?
Honestly, it was a very loving relationship.
What happened?
I loved him with all my heart, took care of him, anything he needed, I was there, vice versa.
What happened?
I discovered that he was cheating on me.
Oh, maybe you were mistaken.
He was talking to a coworker, looking at her nude photos, calling her sexy, asking how old she was.
You're a fool. You got a woman talk like this, how much she loved you deeply, and you got caught with that nonsense?
I decided
when you
that I
approached
was
him about it, what did he say?
I spent a day to myself to think, then I talked to him later. He immediately went, just cold. I saw that he was very distraught over it.
Did he ever apologize and try and redeem himself?
He
All
did.
right, did you forgive him?
I did.
So what happened?
We went on a break. I needed to think about things. I needed to see if he
How
was
long
going
was
to
the
keep
break?
It was going to be for a month.
Okay.
He said that he wouldn't do it again. He said that, looking at her naked photos, calling her sexy, via text over Instagram was like porn. And I told him that that's not porn. A website is porn. I spelled it out for him. Not somebody you know, not somebody that you have attainable access to, and not somebody over your social media. It's a betrayal of my trust. And so I moved out, stayed with a friend on her couch, and I did not trust him at that point. I looked through his Instagram again. About 2 weeks later, I discovered that he was paying a woman.
You're a bigger fool than I thought you were. You got a woman that's in love with you, man.
I still am, but I wish I wasn't. Paying her $12 for a video of her having sex with herself.
They're doing everything out here now.
And so when I found out, I left work that moment and waited for him in our home.
Do you think he's actually been intimate with any of these women?
I want to believe that he wasn't, but honestly, I don't know.
Yeah,
because
it
I
doesn't
was
sound
not
like he
expecting
is.
it.
It doesn't sound like he is. He's just going to the stuff that you say you're saying. You don't do all that. You're just going to get it. Go ahead, sir. Let me hear from you. It's hard to find a lady like that, I'm telling you. Go ahead.
So everything that she said is accurate. Did I cheat on her? No. Do I believe that this is an act of betrayal, seeing how upset she is over it? I definitely think it constitutes it to a certain degree, but it was just porn.
Yeah, and that happens, I'm telling you, ma'am. I had a friend, his girlfriend called me. She says, Greg, can you talk to him? She says, Greg, aren't I attractive? I said, yeah, she's a beautiful woman. Yeah, you're a pretty woman. She said, well, why does he almost every night go into his office, lock the door, look at porn? And this is halfway funny, but she comes and knocks, and he won't let her in. And he won't stop doing what he's doing. You're not that bad, are you? And he wasn't cheating. He would have told me. We share everything, and he would have told me. I've counseled him when they broke up. He would admit things, so I'm convinced he wasn't doing anything, but he's locking his girlfriend out looking at that porn. And so that was a betrayal. She's right there trying to get in. Let me in, let me in. He, looking at that porn. All right, so let's not conclude that. Give yourselves an opportunity. I hate to hear this much love in the relationship, because many relationships are loveless. And so when you see this, let's make it happen. Let's get it back. All right. Why are you suing him?
So, over the years, I helped with rent, lawyer fees, utilities, you name it. So I had constantly written it down throughout our relationship because he was paying me back little by little. When we broke up, we sat down and wrote a contract. And I do have it here.
Okay, good.
Here we are. In the contract, it essentially says that he owed me $14.25.
You must be a lawyer. This is like, you got section 1.8.
Yeah. That's this guy over here.
Section 1 point, this and that, 2.8. Go ahead. So it says what?
Yeah, he owes me $14.25 for everything that I had covered. And then on the back of the contract, we wrote that there's a bare minimum of $25 a month of what he would pay me. Take him 5 years to pay me off for that amount. But I accepted it, wrote my name down so I could just get my stuff out and get on with my life.
All right. Sir, what do you say to this?
So I've been through a few relationships that have, during a breakup, and they get emotional and things like that. I wanted to make sure that me, my belongings, my stuff is protected, especially when you live together with someone for a long time. Things get mixed up. She'd reach out to me if she had something that belonged to me and vice versa. We tried to keep it as civil as possible. And I mean, nothing bad's happened.
Good.
But it was just kind of a precautionary measure.
And what about the payment?
So I paid her the first time, the $25, and even before we wrote out the contract, one of the things that we had purchased together was an ottoman. I sent her a payment of $30 for that, but that was before we had even written the contract. It was a matter of maybe 45
We had to go with the contract, so why shouldn't I enforce this contract today?
So, the contract itself, I don't think that there was a late payment.
He paid $25 when?
So I do have
now, when
the
did he
payments.
pay it?
He paid the $25 June 30th. It was the last day.
For which month?
For June. I had to text him to get that
so
money.
he didn't pay July?
He did not pay July.
You've breached, because even you said that you only gave $25. She has a right to sue immediately upon breach. It's her choice. She chose to do it as opposed to giving you more time. And she's probably a little upset with you, and that may have something to do with moving quickly upon the breach. She's shaking her head.
Yeah.
My man was worse than him. Would he let you in if you knocked on the door, you think?
Oh, boy.
Let me in, let me in. He's looking. So, emotional distress is for what?
So my emotional distress, essentially, I had to hunt him down each time. When I did bring up the fact that he violated the contract, that I was taking him to small claims, he denied it, then admitted that he did, in fact, owe me.
Did he put his hands on you?
No.
Okay,
no,
you
sir.
can't sue a person for a relationship gone bad. The only exception typically is that when there's a physical assault, then most judges allow for a judgment and recourse. All right, judgment for the plaintiff for the loan only. Have a good day.
I think all of this was just much needed closure. The judgment against her, her judgment for her makes sense, and best wishes, I guess.
I just hope to move on with my life. Now I do not have to hunt him down for money. So yeah, I just am excited to not have to worry about him anymore.